Hi everyone, welcome to WW Designs. My name is Nikki and today we are going to play with some scraps and make some ATCs. So this can be a very good way to use up ugly scraps, or you can of course use very pretty ones, but they're all going to start with the same base idea. I'm just going to pop this down over in this corner for the moment, and we're going to use modelling paste to change the look for starters. So if you're using ugly scraps, I would advise you use a stencil that has all the elements nice and close together. If you really like the scrap you're using, then you can use something where you cover up less of it. But for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to use this one here, simply placing it over my little ATC. Oh, and before I forget, in case you don't know what an ATC is, it's a 3.5 inch by 2.5 inch piece of artwork, and you can create it in any shape, fashion, form, use whatever mediums you want. In this case, we're going to be doing this, playing with a few other colory things, and we will be doing then some collaging on top. So you just grab your modelling paste and you gently paste it over the entire card. Now, if you don't have modelling paste but would like to give this sort of thing a go, there is plenty of videos on YouTube that show you how you can actually make your own with very simple ingredients that you should have at home. Now, I happen to have some. This is an El Cheapo Montmartre. It's called light moulding paste, and I just love it. I have found it to work absolutely beautifully, and it cost next to nothing. So definitely one of my favourite supplies. So we just gently smooth everything over. If you were too generous, you can always scrape the rest back into your jar. Now, just two things. Number one, you need to put the lid on as soon as possible, or you end up with lots of crusty bits. And secondly, when you have finished doing the pasting part, please wash your stencil and your palette knife or credit card or whatever you're using, because this dries very quickly, and once it dries you have to start chipping it off. So I'm going to go and wash this and I will come back. To save some time, here are some I prepared earlier. Modelling paste needs a few hours to dry, so I've done these in advance, and then we're going to use a few different things to create some pretty little pieces. Put those aside for the moment. We're going to start with this one, and I like the base colour. I'm going to just leave this one as it is with this lovely textured background, and I have prepared some scraps and found some cute little pieces that we are going to use on this one. So sort of what I did was sort of went a little bit tonal with this one, and instead of a lot of contrast, I'm just sort of going with the general tone of this. This is a rose gold embellishment, nice bit of metallic on there that I found in my stash. All these little pieces that you think, oh, I don't know when I'm ever going to use it, but I can't throw it out. Well, this is a good little project. So we're going to pop that down first. You will notice I'm using my favourite glue. This is my Tiger grip that I use for everything. I wouldn't use glue stick on these pieces because I'm a bit worried that glue stick may not stick well to our raised bits. So we've cut a little banner shape out of a little piece of scrap. This actually has little gold metallic dots, but that's okay. I didn't have a piece that had rose gold that I could find, so I thought, well, who cares? That's okay. And I found this word thankful. I have no idea where I got all this from. And I thought the colour tones went really well. And have a look at it. It is the perfect fit. So I thought, right. And that's how I built all of this. I went, we're going to start with that and then we'll work on it. I have another little scrap that I've cut as a flag. So we've got a tiny little bit of contrast, but not too much. Just flip this around because I just want to line this up here. And then I thought we might add a few little sparkly bits. Again, we're keeping with the same tones. This is actually not what I would call my favourite colours. I was surprised when I so easily found things that sort of all went together. And again, I'm not trusting the glue on the back of these. Definitely, whoops-a-daisy. Oh, that went a bit too. Let's just wipe that off quickly. I don't think they're going to stick very well. I've had these in my stash for quite a while, so I always like to use a little bit of glue. Now, these are actually all slightly different shades, but I think they go very well with the general plan here. Now, how about we try and not drop that one? There we go. And again, we've got some dots here, dots there, a sort of giant dot there. So we're keeping it all in the family. There we go. So I think we might call it quits with that one. That was a very quick, simple and easy one to do. Just grab some scraps and glue them down. So that's number one. Now, the next one we're going to do, this one has a pretty sort of floral at the background. You can still see quite a bit of it. So I thought what we would do is I'm going to grab some Distress ink. This is Victorian Velvet. And I'm going to grab my little makeup brush and we're just going to gently add some colour. Just a little bit, just for fun. Bit of variety. You can do any colour you like. If you like doing vintagey things, we'll obviously use Vintage Photo or one of those. But I thought we might just add a little bit of pink. Just a little bit. And then I found this in my stash. I have no idea. This is a die cut. I presume I got sent it in a swap at some stage because I do not have this die cut, the actual die cut bit. And I thought this will do because we've got plenty of green showing in the background. So we're going to highlight that a little bit. Don't have to fully glue it. Just some few little dots should do the trick very nicely. So we're going to place that on top and just gently press that down. I decided not to add any more flowers to this because there's plenty of flowers in the background. But I did find a cute little butterfly. Again, no idea where I got this from. Honestly, some of these pieces I've had for such a long time, and it is great to actually use bits up. I might just pop that up in that corner there. And then I found these in my stash too. I've had these for years, but I thought I liked this one with Dream on it. And we've got a bit of blue, so we're sort of matching with the butterfly. And there's also a little pretty pink flower, so I thought that was a really good combo to use. Just definitely gluing this down because I don't trust the stickiness on these things. Where I live, for example, today we're heading for a top of 30, I think 32 or 33 or 34 degrees Celsius. We're heading into summer. We're not actually in summer yet. We're still technically only in spring. But we're going for a very hot and humid day. So when you live in a humid climate, all these sort of glues and things, they don't last. They lose their oomph very, very quickly. So I need to use something that's stronger. And I think we'll call that one quits too. That's very pretty. I thought that worked out very nicely and that was very simple. Okay, so the next one. This one here, this is what I would call an ugly paper underneath. I don't actually know what I would ever do with papers of that colour, but I found some cute little elements to use and I thought we might add a little bit of watercolour to this one. And so we're going to grab a brush and some water And we're going to go for something a little bit pinky, and we're going to make this quite watered down. I don't want it too bright. We're just going to dot some around. And we're going to get a bit more water and spread this out a little bit more, because I just want to add a bit of colour highlight. I don't want it necessarily too bright, but maybe now I've got a bit carried away. We might just add a tiny bit more. Not worrying about the middle. I will be adding some other goodies there. There we go. I think that should do it. Now we're just going to grab the hairdryer and give that a little bit of a dry off before we add some embellishment. Now I've got this card dry, but just a little FYI, I grabbed a dried out wet wipe and I tried to dab up some of the excess watercolour so that it would dry quicker for me, and it lifted up virtually all the paint. So I had to put a couple more splotches on, and then I just dried it and did not do any more dabbing because I didn't like how that turned out. So now I have a few cute little embellishments for this one. I found this very cute colour wheel sort of thing, and I thought the colours were a perfect match, and that's why I picked the pink paint, because we've sort of got the greeny tone here and then we've got some pinks as well. So I thought, right, let's add this one down. So obviously just pick a colour that's complementary or complete contrast if you prefer. Then I found this very cute paint tube, and that's of course where I thought this one would be perfect to use the watercolours with, because we've got painty stuff happening here. So we're going to pop that down there. Then I found these very cute little books. I don't know where I got these from, but it had the word craft on it. So I thought, right, perfect match for a sort of crafty themed ATC. And then the last thing I found was this cute little pair of scissors. And I quite liked the colour in the background too, so that was a bonus. So I didn't fussy cut out the scissors. I thought, no, they can stay just like that. And then we might pop that there. So we're following the rule of using 3 items, or 3 things, or 3 bits of deco. Apparently your eyes can focus clearly on something when there's 3 things to look at. So that's that one done. I love how that turned out. So now on to the last one. This one is, oh, no, it goes around that way. It's a black and grey sort of background. Don't hate this one either. The white looks really good on that. But I do think we need something else a little extra. So I'm going to grab my little tray here. I get these things from work. Deodorant, roll-on deodorant come sitting in these. So every now and then I nab one because they're absolutely perfect. What I've done, I've just put a tiny little drop of, you can use any gold paint, but I bought this off Temu. It's gold calligraphy ink, and I love it. It just makes the most beautiful gold colour. So what we're going to do is also add a tiny little bit of water, but not too much because this is quite runny. If you were using acrylic paint, you probably need a bit more water. We're just going to gently mix that together. I might not have made quite enough here actually, but that's okay, we can make more. And I thought I might just put a few little gold splatters on this one. I like using a fan brush if I want nice light splatters. If you want them bigger and blobbier, just use something bigger. The bigger the brush, the bigger your blobs will be. But for this, I just want some nice little fine ones. Okay. Put that aside. And then to decorate this one, I'm going to start with tone on tone piece here. This is just a piece of scrap in a cute gingham checky plaid, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to pop that down. Not quite in the middle. I do like things a little bit off center. Then I found another little scrap. This one has a coffee cup on it, but I actually want it for these pink dots. So I'm actually, surprise, surprise, it's very rare I ever cover up anything coffee, especially when you see what's coming next with this one. But it's what I've done. I'm going to put that one down on an angle. And then I found this pretty girl, the back of a girl. It had some pink in it, so I thought that's a great combo. So I thought that's all sort of keeping it in the black, white and pink theme. And then guess what? Surprise, surprise, a coffee with a heart on it. So we're going to use this one at the cost of the other coffee one, but I loved those pink dots. There we go. And then lucky last, because we've put gold splatters on this, I found this little gold bow. So I decided we can have one of those as well. And we might just put that down there. Voila. Okay, see how easy this project is? It's very simple. And you end up with, let me move all this out of the way, some very cute little pieces to send to your crafty friends. These would also make really good little toppers for cards. If you're sending out a little gift card to someone, you could make some of these and use them as toppers. They also make great journaling cards. If you have a blank background or just glue, this one's fine, obviously it's white. If you've got a coloured background, just glue it down some plain paper and you're good to go. So there we go. This is a great little, I'm going to put this also in my rainy day project playlist, because this would be a fun, easy little crafting thing you could do when it's a cold, wet day and you don't know what to do. Grab out your scraps and create some pretty little ATCs. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments box below. And if you could take a minute, give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And until next time, stay safe and stay healthy. And thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.